exhale to the other side. And just gently warming up the head, the neck, the shoulders, always with breath. And the next time the head is coming to center, just pause there. On an exhale, drop the chin down to center. And breathing in, roll that left ear up over the left shoulder. Let go with a big sigh. And then as you're ready, circle the nose. Keep breathing. And we'll circle around in the other direction. And let's do one more circle. And then roll the chin right down to center. When you breathe in, keep going. Come up over that other side, letting go with a sigh. And circle the nose. Everything and nothing. And we'll come around in the other direction. And then as you feel ready, roll that chin to center and back up to the top. And let's release the wrists. So we'll circle the wrists round and round. And then back in the other direction. Soften the belly. Good. Sometimes we just clench the belly for no good reason. Let it go. And let's bring the hands together, interlace the fingers, and let's bring the palms forward as we scoop out the belly. And then come back to center. Reach those arms up high overhead. Open the heart, wide arms. And then come back to neutral. Hands come together. Interlace, round, and scoop. Sitting up tall, the arms float overhead and then open, drink in some rain. And one more time, scooping. One more time, lifting. And this time we'll let those arms come out and down as you sit back to your neutral spine. Good. Inhale the arms right back up overhead. And this time we'll come side to side, flowing. Keep breathing. And coming to center on the exhale, twist and look over one shoulder as the arms come down. Inhale back to center. Exhale, other side. So honor your shoulders, honor your low back. Only go to the stretch that feels good in your body right now. And one more on each side. Full breath, full expression. And next time the arms are overhead, just draw those palms down to the heart, letting the eyes close, breathing here. And we'll circle those wrists again. This time let's unwind the feet and maybe roll those feet around a little too. Oh, goodness, I forgot there were real candles there. Sorry. That doesn't bother you. You're safe. Ooh, that was surprising. And back the other way. Oh, it's never dull. And then let's bring the hands behind us, soles of the feet to the floor, and we'll bring the knees side to side, warming up. And then let's roll ourselves all the way up onto all fours and plant those hands right under the body. And let's roll through cat and cow breaths today. And next time you're coming to neutral spine, let's take one leg up and around, making big circles, warming up the hip. And we'll come back around in the other direction. And let's stretch the leg out behind the body. Let's get light on the arms. So instead of balancing on just one arm, let's keep both arms on the earth and reach back through that foot. So we're getting longer. And then tiny little leg lifts. The hamstring reaching up toward the sky and the heel reaching back behind you as if you could tap a button on the wall behind you. Good. And then pause the leg. Let's circle the ankle around and around. And then back in the other direction. And then keep that toe pointed. Draw the knee through up toward the heart. Arch like the cat. And then flex the foot. Send that leg back behind you. Reach for the wall behind you. Point the toe. Draw the knee in. And then flex, send the foot away, adding the breath, inhaling to come in, exhale to send it away. You are in charge. You could go slow and steady. You could exhale through the mouth and kick that leg out, releasing any tension. You choose. And then next time that leg is out behind you, just pause there. And let's keep the leg up, but drop down to the forearms and palms on the earth. So we're in a dolphin with the arms. Good. Walk those elbows directly under the shoulders. And then point the toe behind you. Let's make some little circles with that whole leg up behind you. Breathe. See if the neck can be right in line with the spine. So we're looking down toward the earth between the elbows. Circle that foot the other direction. Almost there. Good. And then bring that leg down. Walk the elbows back, melting the forehead to the earth in a child's pose. And breathe here. Feel all that great heat that you created. Ah, good. And let's stay low for a moment and circle the wrists around. So letting go of pressure, tension in the wrists. And then back the other way. And then we'll bring the hands to the floor, tippy toe those hands as far forward as they will go. Melt the heart down, nice stretch under the arms. And on an in-breath, lift the belly button toward the spine and come back up to all fours. And this time we'll circle the opposite leg around. So leg number 2. And this time you have the distinct disadvantage of knowing what we're going to do. Sorry. Circling that knee. Good. And then circle the other direction. And we'll stretch the leg out behind the body. Get a little tiny micro bend in the elbows so your elbows are not hyperextending. Flex through that back foot and we'll lift the whole leg just a tiny bit. Keep the tummy muscles working so we're not tweaking the low back. Nice breath moving through you. Good, and then pause the leg, circle the ankle round and round. And circle the ankle other direction. And then point the toe, draw the knee through, arching like a cat. And then exhale, press the heel back and back and back. Good, go a couple times slowly, and then you might want to accelerate, maybe even beginning to exhale through the mouth as that foot kicks back. Good. And next time the leg is out behind you, just pause there. Gently engage the tummy muscles so we're really pulling up through the belly, and then walk the forearms down to the earth. Good. Point the toe behind you and make big circles with the entire leg, so from the hip. I said big circles, it's really not that big. It feels big, right? And then keep breathing. Reach through the toe as you circle in the other direction. We're making our whole space colorful, painting with our toe and our breath. And the blood that's pumping through our bodies, right? 2 more circles. Circle, circle, and drop that knee down to earth. Sink the hips back toward those heels. And let's walk the hands behind us this time so the arms are resting by the shins. Palms are facing up. Soles of the feet are facing up. Let the shoulders drop down. And we'll walk those hands forward, coming up through all fours. And this time, let's tuck the toes, lifting the hips up and back as we drop the head into our downward facing dog. And let's spend a moment here, breathing, feeling what's here. And then your choice, you could pedal out the feet here, maybe let the hips twist gently side to side. If the hands or shoulders are not happy about being on the floor still, then walk yourself up to ragdoll. We'll all meet here eventually. So it's your practice. Find what feels good today for you. And if you're still in downward facing dog, start to slowly walk those feet up under the body. Bend those knees. Sway a little side to side. Ragdoll. So the knees are bent so that the body can just drape right over. Yes. Head hangs heavy down toward the earth. And then we'll start to bend the knees even more and start to roll yourself up, 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 dropping those arms down, rolling yourself up all the way to the top. And when you get there, bring those shoulders around. Shake out the arms. Good. And let's bring the feet right under the hips. Inhale those arms up overhead to a V. Drop your tailbone, lift your heart. And then come down, bend the knees, interlace those fingers. And just as we did at the beginning, round and scoop out the belly. Hands come back in, drop the tailbone, lift the heart, open the arms. Coming back to center, interlace those fingers, round and scoop. Going with breath. Inhaling, open. Exhaling, scoop. Inhaling, open. Go with your breath. One more. And when those arms are up overhead, this time take a little inhale extra at the top and then forward fold all the way down. Ragdoll, bend the knees, holding opposite elbows this time. Let that head just drop right in. Good. And then bend the knees even more. Drop the tailbone down so the belly just rests right on those thighs. Big, steady breath here. Fill the lungs upside down. Empty the lungs upside down. And then drop that tailbone and roll up one vertebrae at a time, all the way to the top. And when you get there, bring those shoulders around. Good. And let's bring the hands to the hips. Feet come a little wider, and let's just play with sinking the weight from side to side. So one knee is bending and then the other, but just a little so you don't have to strain, just a little shifting. Yes, good. And then come back to center. We'll bend the knees. And straighten, but not quite all the way. Good. Bend and straighten. One more. And then this time we'll sink and bend the knees and start to circle the hips. So play around. My feet are actually a little too wide for my comfort, but everybody has a different stance that feels solid and good. Couple more, nice and smooth. And then we'll come around in the other direction. Focus on your feet. How do your feet feel as you shift the weight? Good. And then we'll come back to center, shake out those arms. You might have to adjust where your screen is, or maybe you can just follow my voice. We're going to turn so that we're facing long ways on our mat. And we'll have the feet so that the toes are pointing just a little bit out to the side. So sometimes we do postures with the feet in parallel, but today we're going to start with the toes pointing toward the short end of the mat. Good. Let's bring the hands to the thighs and we'll bend the knees just a little bit, just a mini bend, and check in. Sometimes those knees like to fall towards center, but we're trying really our very best to rotate the inner thighs forward and rotate the femur in the socket so the knees are coming back by those little toes. Good. And then sink maybe a tiny bit more. Feel your muscles. I really want you to feel your muscles so that our joints are not doing the work as much as our big supporting muscles. I know, right? Are you breathing? Whew. We turned our air conditioner off today and it is drippy in here. I am sweaty and it feels great. I'm burning off some stuff I guess I don't need anymore. Whew. 2020. Whoo-wee. Are you using those muscles? Keep wrapping around, wrapping, turning out. Good. Yes. Good. One more breath. And then using your muscles, come up and up. Keep wrapping and wrapping and wrapping. Good. So nice strong legs. Now sweep the arms out and let's play. The shoulders and the hips are related, right? So as we rotate our arms, our upper arms are similar to our femurs, our thighs, right? And our forearms are related to our shins and calves. So we're rotating in that shoulder joint. And when you are rotating so the palms face up, let's pause there with the palms up, right? You can feel that opening. So your left arm would be rotating your left arm would be rotating counterclockwise, right? And your right arm would be rotating clockwise. So those pinkies are facing forward. I think I got that right, but let's rotate just a little more. Yeah, so your right arm is rotating clockwise, right? And your left arm rotating open counterclockwise. Good. Now shake everything out. And we'll slide those hands to the thighs, bending the knees just a tiny bit, 2%. Feel that rotation. So your glutes are doing the work, right? Your rotators are doing the work. Your inner thighs are rotating open. And your knees are coming back by the pinkies. Good. Sink just a little more, 10%. Whew. If it would be okay with your knees, sweep the arms out wide. Good. Keeping the legs as they are. Play with that shoulder rotation. Good. Whew. And when the palms are facing up, we'll bend the knees just a tiny bit more, just a little more. So if you know that you run 20 miles a week and you want to drop down a little more and you know that your knees are okay with that, you can. But there's no forcing, no pushing, okay? Use your muscles, right? Good. Arms rotate. This is it. Whew. Keep breathing. Let that sweat just roll off you. Cleanse it out of you. Good. It's going to be a great Shavasana today. And then next time those palms are facing up, sink to your max. Ooh-wee. Everything comes up, 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 up. Palms together. And drop the palms down to the heart. Bend the knees just a tiny bit so you can heel toe those feet back under the body. Close the eyes if your balance feels up to it. And breathe or take a soft gaze out and down and breathe. Good. And we'll shake out the arms, open the eyes, shake out those feet. And we'll bring the feet wide again, this time parallel. So the toes are pointing toward the long side of the mat. Bending the knees just a little bit. Shift so the palms are facing in. And then we'll dip one shoulder down and then the other. So just a gentle twist. The arms are helping to hold your weight. Good, and then coming into center and slide the hands all the way down the legs, finding the floor or a chair or blocks. And if you'd like, you could walk the feet out a little wider, or you could bring them in a little closer. Shaking out the head, no tension in the neck. And then we'll bend one knee, sink the hips toward the bent knee side, just a little bend. Hands can help support you as you slide through center and over to the other side. So now alternating, sinking, stretching the inner thighs as you come side to side. And then coming to center, slide the hands up to the low back for support. Lift through the kneecaps as you come up with a flat back, breathing as you go. Good. And when you get to the top, drop the tailbone, shake out the arms, little bend in the knees, and we'll heel toe those feet back under the body and do the scarecrow dance. Good. And let's come into, oh wow, I'm doing so many wide-legged poses. I tore my floor apart. Let's come out wide again. And this time we'll keep that left foot toward the long edge of the mat and rotate. Again, you're expert rotators now. So that right leg rotates and the feet, the toes point toward the short end of the mat. Look down at that right knee as you bend it. Make sure it lands directly over the ankle. And again, use your muscles. That poor little knee can't possibly do all the work without the help of its friends. You are in charge. If you want a little more heat, you can scooch out, but make sure the integrity of your posture is maintained. Good. And then sweep the arms out wide and turn to look over those right fingertips. And we're going to breathe everything in and out to nothing. Breathing in everything. Exhaling down to 0. And as we breathe, I want you to pay attention to the space just before the inhale. That space where you are on empty. One more breath. And then let your hands slide to the hips. Straighten that right knee. Turn the feet parallel. You could heel toe in just a little if you like. Tiny bend in the knees. Drop the tailbone down. Good. And then straighten. And again, bend the knees. Drop the tailbone. And lift through the crown. Good. So low back is safe. Little bend. Drop the tailbone. Lift through the head. Good, and then shake out those arms. Good, let's come in for the scarecrow dance again. Shake out. So my friend Katie teaches a program called Shake Your Soul, and it was created by Dan Levin up at Kripalu. And they do this as like one of the first parts of the dance they do. And I can't remember which system it's really good for. I'll have to ask Katie. But literally, like, one of the main parts of the dance is this, the scarecrow dance. Might be limbic system. I'll have to ask her. Whew. Anyway, just know it's really, really good for you. Ooh. And then we'll set up for the other side. So bring those legs out wide. I know the feet and ankles are really working here. Engage that right leg as you rotate from the thigh, the left toes, to face the short end of the mat. Good. Let's actually look at that left knee as we bend, making sure it lands over the ankle. Keep using your muscles. And you could sink in a little more if you like, only if it feels okay. Keep using your muscles. Back leg too, engage the muscles. Inhale, reach out wide with the fingers. Exhale, take your drishti, your focus over the left fingers, and then soften your lens. Dive into your breath. Let's take a couple more breaths. Pay attention to the space right before the exhale this time. Good. One more, just like that. And then we'll drop the hands down to the hips. Straighten that knee. Turn the feet parallel, and we'll heel toe the feet in. And one more time, shake out. Whew, good. Let's do a freeing twist. So you could bring the feet a little wider than hips and come around center with knees gently bent. Or if you'd like a slower, more subtle version, you could come into our breathing twist. Good. So you decide. And then we'll just let ourselves wind gently back down to the start. And let's do one half moon shape before we come down. So as you're ready, bring the feet right under the hips. So we're rotating the palms to face forward. Lots of space in the back and the front of the body. This stretch is all about lateral movement. So keep that beautiful openness on the front and the back of the body. As you inhale the arms out and up and overhead, interlacing the fingers, we'll come over to one side as we exhale. Good. And we'll stay here for a moment and breathe. Feel the openness of the front body, the openness of the back body. Is there anything you could do to soften into this curve of the spine? And we'll come back up to the top And then over to the other side. And again, focusing on the front of the body, the back of the body, and that side body, nice and smooth, up and over. One more breath here. And then we'll come back up to the top. Open the arms, lift, and then forward fold all the way down, bending those knees as you get down to earth. And sway, be free, be easy as you come side to side. Good. Let the head shake out. And then start to walk yourself down through downward facing dog, all the way down to all fours. Taking your time, there's no rush. And then finding whatever movement would feel really good, maybe pedaling out the feet or swaying the hips a little side to side. And taking another moment to stretch on your way down. And then finally sinking the hips again, back and down, Garbhasana, the child's pose. A lot of work in those hips today. So let's come up through all fours, walk the hands forward and do a nice big hip stretch circle coming round and round. Good. And then come back around in the other direction. And then as you're ready, walking yourself over onto one hip and swinging the legs around, safely making your way all the way down to the floor on your back. And when you arrive, hug those legs in, rock a little side to side. And we'll stretch the arms out wide to a T. Drop the legs to one side, keeping the shoulders on the mat. Letting the belly unwind, the hips smooth out. And we'll bring the knees up through center. And then down to the other side, allowing time and breath to give you your best version of this stretch today. And we'll come back up to center and let's pedal out those feet, bicycle the legs, but just gently bringing circulation to the hips. And then we'll hug the right leg in and let the left stretch out long on the floor. Breathing here, letting the front of your left belly and thigh and hip flexor be passive. No effort required. And we'll drop that right foot to the floor, the knee still bent. And draw the left leg up, crisscrossing that left ankle over the right thigh. Flexing the left foot, let's draw the legs in and maybe reach through, interlacing the hands around the back of the right thigh, or maybe the right shin. Or maybe it feels better to keep the foot on the floor and stretch that way. So find your best stretch. And then let's settle into ocean breath here. So lifting the back of the roof of the mouth and making that sound as you breathe in and out through the nose, like you're fogging up a mirror. Let that sound soothe you and draw your focus inward. And let's keep the legs wrapped up, but let the hands unwind and let those arms land on the floor. So let's reflex the feet, and with those legs still wrapped up, drop the legs over to the right side. So eventually that right thigh might land and the left foot might land. So you're in control. If this is too intense, not good for your low back, then come out, unwind the legs, and come into a different version. But it might be a really good stretch for the hip. So sink into your breath and welcome the opening. And we'll come back up to the top, unwind the legs, and let's just circle those ankles around and around. And then back the other way. And we'll drop the right foot to the floor, draw the left leg in close, hugging the shin, or maybe the back of the thigh, especially if that knee is tender. And we'll stretch the right leg out long and just focusing now on relaxing everything. Shoulders, neck, arms, belly, hip, thigh. the hands, drop that left foot to the floor, and we'll bring the right ankle up and across, landing on the thigh. Flexing those right toes, pulling the right toes back toward the shin. You can lift both legs and sweep the hands through, interlacing the fingers. Hips can be really different from one another. So just noticing, no judgment, no big story needed. Just feel and breathe. You know, in yoga, we say feel and breathe and allow. You know, we say these words all the time, but what does it mean? What does it mean to feel something? To allow the feeling to be whatever it is, no reason necessary. To just breathe and let it be whatever it is, it's okay. One breath at a time. We'll keep those legs wrapped up, but unwind the arms, letting them land wide like stabilizer legs. Reflex both feet just in case they got a little droopy, and then come over the legs, dropping to the left side this time. And maybe it feels like a really great stretch. And you can settle in and breathe. Or maybe you want to unwind those legs and stack the thighs. So in yoga, we talk about peeling back the layers, right? The layers of thought, the layers of the physical body, and getting into our emotional body, our feeling body, and then even going beyond those feelings into the spiritual body, and then underneath all these different layers, that place where we just are. We're just drifting, centered. Perhaps it's that point between everything and nothing. Perhaps it's that point where everything and nothing meet. As you breathe, can you feel your hip? Feel your arms. Feel your low back. Nothing more to do. And we'll inhale and unwind those legs, coming back up to center. And then find one more letting go movement, maybe circling the knees as you hold one hand on each knee. Maybe legs coming apart and around. Maybe something else. And when you feel like it's time to change direction, change direction. If you want to change your movement, change your movement. If there's anything else you need, this is your time. This is your time. What do you need? And as you breathe and feel, starting to honor everything that comes up as you move gently, as you find balance and completion. And then when you feel ready, start to make your way into a place for deep relaxation or maybe meditation, your choice. Maybe lie back and spread a blanket over your body, or maybe sit and wrap a scarf around your shoulders, but creating a space for you to sink into center, a space to come down through the layers, physical body, thinking body, emotional body, your feeling body, intuition, and then finally arriving, maybe even just for a moment, but enjoy those moments of drifting in clear space. The juncture, the locus of all possibilities at the center of our being. The potent mix of nothing and everything. As your body drifts off in physical comfort, just allow the feelings to rise and drift. Allow thoughts to slow down. And as you breathe, knowing that all is well, all is well. And gently now beginning to deepen your breath. And letting yourself start to stretch. Maybe roll to one side. And take your time. And eventually making your way up to a seated place when you're ready. Letting your eyes stay closed for a moment, feeling whatever is here. When you feel ready, let the hands find one another. And again, pause here. Feel what this is. Feel your legs, your feet, your hips, your belly, low back, ribs, heart, shoulder blades, shoulders, arms and hands. Feel your collarbones, your neck, your ears, your throat. Feel the back of your head, your face. Feel the breath filling the lungs as you breathe in. Feel the emptiness after you exhale. One more time, filling, and this time the exhale will be an Om. Hari Om Shanti. Namaste. Namaste. Peace. Thank you all so much for your practice. So you're welcome to just click out and drift off to your evening, or if you'd like, you can unmute and go to gallery view and say hi to everybody.